And then I saw um, Sawmill sir's post on Instagram and like, hey, this is looks interesting. And I looked into the website and saw that this is actually taken by Sawmill. And I just right away went ahead and registered for it early. And I know his thought process or so-called the hacker mind way of stuffs, and that was exactly that I was expecting from the
Right.
training.
And the
And
good thing that I liked about it is it wasn't, fun day jharna, yeah, anything talking very abstract. It was very practical, and obviously it was meant for beginners, right? So from that perspective, I think it was kept very real.
Talking through the way he went about it is probably the most valuable thing that I had. Clear example, step by step process. I'm not going to go and get the same shot, but it's the thought process behind it. I loved it.
I also did a session with just Somil Bhai uh, regarding a little more in detail about the camera features. So this is the plus point of maybe the Hive, wherein you also don't just think about the session as a group, but you also try to fulfill what are the requirements. Even if it's a little off topic, it's not too much for you guys. So kudos for that.
Sawmill, the inputs that he had given were helpful in trying to put some method to the madness because
I was largely taking the street photos or the architecture side of photos, and but now when I look into framing it, I get more ideas on whether it is geometry or compression or framing it properly, seeing it from a different angle, fiddling around with the lighting and focuses and all that will actually help a lot. So, and I can actually read more aspects of it than just taking a beautiful building.
I loved seeing the examples. When he spoke about how he approached a particular shot, for example, the monkeys on the railway track. Now, this is what I did here. This is what I did here. And, in order to remove this lady in the back. So I find when I'm taking a shot that it's very hard to think on my feet. I know theoretically what I should do, but I'm so anxious. Like, oh my God, this is fantastic. I've got to get this out. And it's not like he was taking a photo of a piece of graffiti which is going nowhere. Those monkeys could move.
the case studies, for example, right? You're talking about, this is your point zero, when you started and this is what you saw and you saw potential. And then you fine tuned, you had the second, third, fourth attempt to then understanding what can actually, what is the potential out there and what you can capture. So those things are very interesting because then you're actually going on a journey with him and not just looking at an end result and just talking about, how magically it appeared or, how you're talking about what a journey is. So hence, how can you fine tune yourself when you see some potential? And
Once where he had to really chase it down and think on his feet about the technicalities, very worthwhile to be talked through that because I tend to panic.
But this training is kind of unconventional in a way that they are not really focusing on um, the technicalities of it, like what meters are new to actually take, and also sharing that, hey, this was the shot that I've actually taken before. I was not really satisfied with it, and then I eventually got here. So that path is something you can't teach someone, because it's not science, right? It's purely art. You need to kind of build that. The science part, I like anyone who is in the technical or non-technical can kind of learn it because that's a skill set you can learn by practice. The art, you can't practice it. You need to kind of bring that personality from within you. So I think that part Somil sir did covered pretty well. And
Yeah, I love those case studies.
Right.
More.
Discord is one of the best things that could have happened to a group like this. Like initially, I was using to play games during the lockdown, but it's being put to an amazing use.
the Discord was actually very helpful because it's created a sense of community, sense of sharing, learning from each other's kind of platforms. And that
And I
was
think the beauty of this workshop being online and virtual is that you have the opportunity to bring in a diaspora, right? It could be different cultures, it could be different environments. So you have somebody who's talking about typically in Australia and looking at what's out there for them vis-a-vis in UK limitations, to someone who's done wildlife. So the other thing that I quite enjoyed was it was again a smaller group, right? So you get a lot of personal time where you can afford to, throw in questions, queries, you're getting the right level of attention.
So I had actually come down to learn more about cameras, which was not a part of your actual lecture, but then there were so many questions going back and forth. So I guess you ended up taking that extra session on how the camera works. And then again, I wanted to learn about photography in wild, which was not a part of your curriculum, but again, we had a session today. So this is how a session should be done. It should not only be what you're signed up for, but it should also try to consider what questions you have.
Even though one session was during the week, I was like, okay, I blocked my calendar for that 1.5 hours that I'll work my meetings around it because it makes sense for everyone else. And I saw value in it. Otherwise, for me, I would have said, oh, you know what? I have stuff at work. I'll probably catch up on the recordings. I don't want to let that opportunity go by. I wanted to be part of it because I knew that there was much to gain from it, right?
I really loved the personal attention that you guys are giving to the students also, wherein you put the pictures that we send you in the certificate. So that's something new. I would love to show that to other people. But I actually printed that certificate out.